So I just wanted to make this video about the playbook system we have in Madden. I really don't like how it functions, and the problem I'm going to talk about is only going to get worse once we include live playbooks. So my first example right here is the 49ers offense and the Raiders offense. I've gone ahead and crossed off all the plays that are the formations that are identical to each other, and that way we can focus on what's actually different. And these playbooks are intended to play very similarly because they're both focused on your 22 personnel, your 20 personnel, all these kind of formations. But the reason you would never pick the 49ers offense over the Raiders offense is the Niners offense only has one meta formation. That's split close. Most of these, while this book is definitely usable, I don't think there's a good enough reason to pick the Niners offense if you're intending on running a lot. That's why you would go with the Raiders. It has basically the same sets. A lot of sets aren't even that different, like H slot and regular slot, not very different at all. So the Raiders playbook has a lot more meta formations, and that's why it's always going to be picked over the Niners offense, even though they're very similar. And that's one of the problems I think this game has. You have way too many playbooks that have a handful of differences, and in those handful of differences, there might be one formation that totally makes you need to pick that other playbook over one. So, like the Raiders offense, most players can't live without bunch. Niners doesn't have it, and then the Raiders also has all these other ones. And it's just, kind of frustrating when you look at that. But this isn't even the worst example. So oftentimes when a coordinator gets hired as a head coach for another team, you'll often see a kind of copy and paste over to the new coach or the new team. So the most recent example would have been Brian Flores when he left the Dolphins or left the Patriots to go to the Dolphins. On this next slide, they literally copy and pasted the entire thing. There's only two formations in this book that are different. You got weak close on the Pats, and that's it. And then you got, I didn't cross this out because I missed it, but Wildcat on the Dolphins. That's it. That's the only difference between those two playbooks. That's kind of a problem that's been happening for years. And there's tons of examples. There's the 49ers and Falcons offense. There's just all sorts of things. The Washington football team and the Panthers from last year, it's just moved over. A couple years ago, Chip Kelly dominated the playbook game by having the spread offense, the Eagles offense, and the 49ers offense all resemble each other because he influenced all of those for whatever reason. So I think that these are the most unique playbooks. Or no, how do we fix the problem? No, here we go. The most unique playbooks in the game and why. So I think pistol is very unique because it's the only playbook in the game that only uses pistol playbook or pistol plays. It's not very good because there's kind of a problem with play action and blocking and whatnot, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. Spread, I really love the spread playbook. Not because it's been the same for 15, or not 15 years, but since 15, and it's my comfort food. If I don't know what to do in a new Madden, I just go straight to that. But I love it because it's a heavy focus on gun formations. There's only gun formations, and there's 26 formations that are 11 personnel. So it's just a nice like focused playbook, and that's what I like. The Arizona playbook, to my surprise, is quite unique this year, and I think we should rename it to the Air Raid playbook and keep that one forever. Even if we never go with like what I'm suggesting, that playbook should never leave us. That is a great playbook because it's actually different, and I love that. The Pats Miami's book, if the Miami book didn't just drop, the Pats book, that thing was unique, and it's been a staple in Madden since at least 15, as far as I remember. The only thing I would like to change about it is I would like to make the Pats offense more focused on two tight ends. So instead of where you normally see a slot receiver, I'd like to see a focus on putting the tight end in the slot or the slot receiver in the slot, but like as your main packages. Or and we don't have to call it Patriots anymore. It could just be called some sort of 12 focus book or something. And then the West Coast playbook I think is very unique because it has a handful of plays that no other playbook has, and I really like how it's focused on like the quick passing game, which it should be. And then I have a couple honorable mentions: the Saints and Ravens. I like the Saints because it has a couple gadget formations with the Taysom Hill stuff, and the Ravens playbook is the heavy QB run playbook. And I think we should readdress how those books work, but I do like where they're at. So if we just tweak them a bit, you could keep those the same. So I think the way we fix this, like I said, we just need less playbooks. There are 77 playbooks, 32 base playbooks, 32 live playbooks, and 13 alternative playbooks. I think we got to shrink that down. I'd say start at 10, try and balance it the best you can, make them unique, and then you go from there. You can add from there if you need to, if you want, if there's more ideas. So like I mentioned right here, I think the Cardinals playbook should just become the air raid playbook, and no less focusing on team specific books and more on the scheme. So I think what a playbook system could look like is something like this, where you have air raid, the heavy QB option, the modern West Coast, the classic West Coast, the pistol, the spread, the vertical, ground and pound, a 12 personnel focus. I don't know what to call that yet. And then other ideas that we could come up with. Now, the reason I like this is instead of the meta going towards which playbook has the best bunch, you could put the bunch, you could put like the good plays in bunch or just bunch in general in an underperforming book. So if you see, say, pistol is doing very poorly on your pick and performance ratio, which I'm sure you have one, you could add plays that are similar to the regular gun bunch into the pistol bunch. Now you have a pretty unique formation, and you incorporate what's meta, making the playbook better overall, and it helps balance it. It's a very simple form of balancing. It doesn't fix every issue, but it does help with the playbook diversity and just playbooks playing different. That's all I want. And this issue is, to me, it's really annoying for offense. On defense, it's not the worst, but I do think you have the same exact issue. But it's more easier to fix, I'm sure, because we're already almost there. They just add a team name to most defensive playbooks. So here's the 49ers defense and the Falcons defense. You can throw tons of examples, but the only differences between these books is the 52 and the 44. The under is on this 4-3, and then this one gets dime normal and dollar, and this one gets dime rush. That's it. That's the only difference. Tons of playbooks are this way. I would say the way to fix this is just focus. That got messed up. Well, the way to fix this, who cares about this freaking screen? It's mostly just my notes. Is just focus on something similar to base packages and have mostly similar nickel formations, if not something specific to that playbook. So if you got, I'd say the nickel base playbook, what makes that one special would be you would have all the nickel formations in one book, and there's no need to add like 4 different nickel formations that all resemble 2-4-5. Like just have one, but it would have all the different ones. But it wouldn't have any base defense. That would make it pretty unique and kind of cool. And then you have other things you could do, like you could have just 2 4-3s like you probably already do, a wide 9, and then just your standard. The wide 9 would resemble very similarly to the Legion of Boom defense, where it's just cover 3 focus. And I just think defense is really easy to solve, because honestly, my only nitpick with the playbook system on defense is just there's a way too many playbooks when there's really only a need for a handful. 3-4, 4-3, 4-6, a nickel base that we could create. 35 defense is one I've been like rooting for a while. I'd love to see that in a game. It's just something you see in college and high school. It's more or less just a nickel package, except it's like 3-4 base, but your strong safety is a linebacker. That's the only real difference to it. And multiple safety is just a focus on 3 safeties. That's it. I just think it'd be really fun to do something this way. And I don't know if you take any advice or I guess suggestions from me, just please lessen the amount of playbooks we have in total and just keep them diverse so you can balance them the best you can. We really need to move away from the 5 playbooks that are meta every year instead of having at least like 6 or 7. And that's all this wants to change. It's just a little nitpick I've had. And this video is more of an excuse to play with OBS because got to do some stuff for work. That's my office right there. So, alright, that's it. See you later.